everyone. Welcome to Mindfulness with Mahib. Today we are going to be talking about congruence or flow or being one with life. Many cultures and traditions have different vocabulary, different terms that describe what it is to be like, what it is to be like, who you are, or what is our true nature. And in the field of psychology, specifically humanistic psychology, when you are in congruence with yourself, you are at a very high functioning and you are able to accomplish things that are needed for you and for others. But many times that does not happen. Many times we are not in flow. And I'll be very vulnerable in this moment about how I struggle at times, just like any other human being. Life is flowing in a direction while I end up flowing opposite to it. And that causes resistance, that causes friction and suffering. So it is very crucial, does not matter which tradition, which background you are from, to understand who you are and to understand the direction where life is taking you. I know these are two things, but when the understanding is there, they become one. And that is what congruence is, to be one with life, to flow with life, to be going in the same direction as life. The moment we identify with a separate sense of self, a person or a personality of these memories and these life experiences, and this is what I want, sort of being very identified with the desires of a single human being. We separate ourselves out of the whole existence that is in the environment that is here. We call ourselves something other than what life is. We are not, or we are no longer life itself the moment we identify ourselves with a separate sense of self. And that is what makes most of the suffering possible. And by suffering, I mean the resistance, the incongruence, the opposite of congruence. It's hard to put vocabulary or words to this experience because it is something that you can only understand out of direct experience. There are ways to point towards it, there are ways to metaphorically describe it, but there is no way that one individual can make it possible for the other. One must walk their own path, one must work for their own sense of congruence or a sense of freedom, or as we are so often identified with the small self, we forget our basic nature, we forget our true nature of the immense, indescribable, unlimited self, or the essence of who we are. Metaphorically speaking, as long as we think that we are this small drop of water who's getting punched around, who's getting moved around, we do not see who we are in essence, we do not see our true nature. And that reminds me of one of the poems that I maybe wrote a few years ago. And then I will read it, and hopefully that will describe what I'm trying to say, and I'm failing. But hopefully that poem will plant a seed in you to understand that deeper sense of self that is the same within all of us. Just like there are so many electric bulbs, but the electricity that lightens them is the same. They look different from outside. If you look at the Christmas lights or the Diwali lights, they are all different colors, different shapes from the outside, but what is underneath, essentially running them, is that electricity. That is the same. And so is the soul, or so is that true self that is within all of us, is one. So if you know who you are, you will know who the other is. So I'll stop speaking and I'll go to that poem that I was talking about. It is called Self to Self. So a small s self with a and the transformation to the big S self. The world is so big and I am so small, like a drop of water between infinite other drops in this ocean of waves and typhoons. I get punched in the face and moved around. No free will I have. All the big waves toss me around. Fishes drink me out. Fishes drink me and poop me out. So powerless I feel. What is this all about? Realizing how limited I am, I drop all hopes of a better future and surrender myself to the almighty law of nature. The moment I realize, or let me correct, the moment I surrender my limited identity, I realize the truth and the underlying infinity. I was never this drop of water. I was the entire ocean itself. And the duality of two things was a myth, and so was that small self. Now there is no doubt, and there is no internal strife. With free will, I flow, full of vitality, full of life. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again next time. Please feel free to leave comments or questions, and have a wonderful day.